Hello folks, welcome to the forecast. So this is the Wednesday forecast and let's get started with the euro and the US dollar. So what I was seeing this large descending structure right here, and I was waiting to see a reversal to the upside, which I then thankfully saw, but we didn't get an opportunity to enter. So at this point this was not enough of a break. I want to see a clean close and a larger break to be looking for long trades, so I stayed out of this. And then what happened, so I would get even stopped out if I was in this trade. Then the price got a pullback and continued to the upside. Got a very nice close right here. So at this point I was looking for a trade to go long because I was seeing this trend start from a descending structure. And for me, I do have in my trade plan that when a trend starts from a descending structure, that is high probability, and I'm definitely looking for some setups. But what actually happened, we got a aggressive retrace. So these three candles told me that I want to be a bit more patient, and I definitely was not having an order at this point because this was just a really aggressive retrace, and this was signaling to me a potential V reversal. So I stayed out of this, and then what happened? Well, we did actually get an opportunity to enter at this point. What I was seeing that we started to range, and I really did like it because when we do see a V, we usually get a range. So this is what happened, and at this point I was looking to get in on a combo trade. So a combo trade is one leg down, pullback, and then a second leg to the entry point, and the entry point would be at the inside bar, as always, of course, looking at the inside bar. So at this level would be the entry point, but what I didn't want to see, I didn't want to see a straight momentum shift to the entry point. I wanted to see more of a pause and then for it to tag me into the trade, and I wanted to see how this line would be broken. So this would be the flag line, because we would also form a flag if this line was broken and the price retraced. So I really wanted to see how this line will be broken, and then I would consider taking either as I said, a combo or maybe also a flag, depending on how everything formed. But what actually happened, so here we broke the flag line and retraced, so that was a very good sign, but I wanted to see a bit more of a pause and not just straight. I didn't want to see just for it to continue down. And what actually happened, the price continued aggressively down, and I didn't have any orders on, and unfortunately so I stayed out of this one. So that is very good because I followed my plan, of course, and it would be actually a loss. And then price actually pulled back and continued down. So yeah, there was an opportunity to enter on a combo trade here, but I stayed out because I saw a momentum shift in this leg. I wanted to see more of a descending to the entry point. So what I'm looking at currently, I'm looking that this is signaling to me a range. I do think we will get a range right here. And then we need to be careful about the liquidity areas. So below is a liquidity area and above is a liquidity area. We need to be careful how the price reaches those areas. Does it just break into them and retrace, or does it give us some nice conviction and some nice continuation? What I will also be looking for is to get a large push down and then a flag to go short, or maybe we get the V reversal. Then I'm looking for a small range, and I'm looking for another push up and then a flag. Very high probability pattern if we get that. Or I'm looking for a descending structure, look for a reversal and a trade to go long, or maybe an ascending, nice clean ascending, reversal down and a short trade. So let's now switch over to the euro and the Japanese yen, and here was also an opportunity to enter on a trade right about here. Yeah. So what I was looking for at this point, I was seeing this trend to the upside. I was seeing the price with really nice candles pushing to the upside. I was seeing the small pullback, but no momentum shift for me personally. So I saw a small range here, but there was no momentum shift. And then price continued up. got 2 candles. And what I wanted to see a nice descending to the entry point, or I wanted to see a nice tight small flag. What actually happened? Well, the price reversed to the upside. We got that V. I didn't have any orders on because I wanted to avoid that V, because we usually get a V, then something like this. And then price actually did shoot to the downside as expected. So then we broke the low, retraced, left a large wick. So currently this is not looking that good. I'm not looking for any trades. I'm waiting for the break of the low or the high. And if we do get a nice clean push down, I'm looking for a break and retest trade, because then I would see a nice trend down. I would see one push, pull back, another push, pull back, and then another push. Or I'm looking for that large impulse and then a flag. Or I'm looking for, if we get a descending, then a reversal up, trade to go long. Or I'm also looking for an ascending structure, a clean ascending, and then a reversal down and a short trade. So yeah, currently waiting for the break of the low or the high. And as I said, if we do break the low with some momentum and conviction, then that is signaling to me a trend to a downside, and I'm definitely looking for some short trades on this pair, but currently not looking that good. So now for the Aussie and the US dollar. So there was an opportunity to enter long at this point. So at this point I was seeing a trend to start to the upside, and this looked very, very good, but what I didn't want to see is a V reversal to the entry point. That did not fit my plan. So this entry actually didn't fit my plan. Well, wasn't good enough for me, but it did bank some percentage. So maybe something that I need to backtest. But at that current point, I was seeing this V reversal, and the trade just didn't fit my personal plan. So the price continued to go up. I was seeing if I can get in on any of these candles. So at this point, I didn't enter on a long trade. I wanted to see a bigger break. This was not enough of a break, so stayed out again. And then we did actually get an opportunity to get in on a reversal. So maybe some people were seeing this as an ascending structure right here, and they were looking for this reversal to reverse to the downside. But for me personally, this was not enough of a break, especially since we got a wick right here. So I stayed out of this trade also. This just did not fit my plan. I wanted to see a bigger push to a downside, something like this, and a clean close, and this was just not enough for a reversal at that point. So that price retraced to the upside and started to range a bit. Then we broke the high, retraced, and now we are stuck between the low and the high. So looks like we are forming this range. So this is now a clear range right here. And what I know when I see a range, I know that there are liquidity areas below and above. So right here and here, there are liquidity areas. So let's see how the price pushes into it. Does it just break and retrace, or does it break and give us some nice conviction? Then I'm looking for a trade. Also, what I will be seeing, if the price wants to continue up, then we get a nice flag, or if we get a nice push, pullback, a break and retest trade, or maybe we start to ascend, nice clean ascending, then I would look for a reversal and a trade to go short. Or if we descend from here, then I'm looking for a reversal up and a long trade. But yeah, currently this looks like it's forming a top, or it may just also be something like this structure, a small, so not a small range, but a larger range, so just a larger pause before we continue up with the trend. So I'm seeing if this will be a topping pattern, so if the price will reverse from here, or if this is just a small pause before we continue to the upside. And I'm looking for the evidence, so I'm looking for a nice impulse up or a nice impulse down that clears these liquidity areas that I just talked about before. And for the final pair, so the Aussie and the Japanese yen, There was also an opportunity to enter here, but I stayed out, so I didn't take this trade. So I was seeing a nice large uptrend, small pause here, but nothing really significant. Price continued with these 3 really good candles, small pullback, and then price continued again, got a large wick. But so this wick actually didn't concern me, because at this point I did have an order on for the price to maybe tap me in and go. But what I didn't want to see a small pausing candle and then an entry, so I didn't want to see this. When this candle formed, I removed my order, because I know that price usually tends to, on the Japanese pairs, it usually tends to just tag us in and then continue immediately with the same candle to the upside. But if we get one pullback candle, then it usually doesn't work out in our favor. So at this point I removed my order and didn't want to get in, because that would then be an aggressive retrace for me personally, and not a sort of an entry I would be comfortable with taking. And this is really far away from the entry point, so it would definitely be a momentum shift. And then price actually pushed down, so you can see the clear momentum shift right here, and continued down, and then ranged a bit. So similar to the Aussie and US dollar, this is now forming a flat range, as you can see here. So we broke the high, retraced, broke the low, retraced, broke the low, retraced. We are continuing down, so let's see what will happen. But what I'm looking for, so we need to be careful. Let me just talk a little bit about that, about the liquidity areas. If we get just a one candle small push, then I'm waiting for a bit more of a push, because this can just retrace back and continue ranging, of course. So we need to be careful in these areas. In these areas we need to see a large push. What I'm looking for a large impulse up and then a flag, or a large impulse up, pull back, another push, break and retest trade, because the overall trend is still to the upside. So this can just be a small pause before we continue up. Or I'm looking for, if we start to get an ascending, I'm looking for a reversal and the trade to go short. If we get a large push here, I would consider taking a flag, but we really need to get that larger push. This does look like it's forming maybe a reversal, but on the Aussie and the Japanese yen, reversals for me personally don't really work out that well. They need to be really high probability for them to work out, so I'm looking for a really nice large push and a clean close to be even considering taking any trades. So this is just not enough as it is. I need to see more. But if we do start to form a descending structure from here, something like this, I'm looking for a reversal up and then a long trade. Definitely something to keep in mind. And yeah, we can also get the V reversal from here, something like this. Then we get a small range, and then price continues up, and then we get a flag. That is it for forecast. Markets seem to be pausing a bit, but it is Wednesday when we usually do get some moves. So we usually get some moves on Wednesday evening, and then it transfers into Thursday and Friday. So let's see what happens, and I will see you guys in the next forecast, which is tomorrow on Thursday.